Then I will call to order the March 9th, 2021 regular school board meeting of the Columbia Heights Public Schools School Board. If you are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you so much. Laura, if you wouldn't mind doing roll call, please.
Okay. Mueller,
Here.
Lewis,
Here.
Grandlin,
Here.
Samurai, here. Severson,
Here.
Palmer, here, and Superintendent Stenvick.
Here. All right, thanks, Laura. Due to the current and federal state emergency declarations, the Minnesota directive to residents to stay at home, and guidance about limiting person-to-person contact due to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, this meeting of the Columbia Heights Public School Board is being conducted in accordance with Minnesota Statute 13D.021, meetings by telephone or other electronic means. The school board members are reminded to mute their microphones or phones when they're not speaking. School board members wishing to speak should raise their hand and then wait to be recognized by the chair. The chair will determine the order in which board members wishing to speak will be recognized. When recognized, the board member should unmute the microphone or phone to speak and then mute their device. All votes will be conducted by roll call. Each school board member should wait until their name is called before voting. This meeting is being recorded, and access to the recording will be made available on the school district's website as soon as reasonably possible. All right. We'll move forward with our mission statement, which is creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner. All belong, all succeed. And our core values are community, excellence, collaboration, integrity, respect, courage, and innovation. We will then move on to the agenda approval, adjustments, announcements, and correspondence, and we'll begin with the approval of the agenda. If I could get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Mary? Second?
That was Hala.
Paula, second? All right. Any discussion? All right, roll call vote, please, Laura.
Mueller,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Grandlin,
Aye.
Samurai, aye. Severson,
Aye.
Palmer, aye.
All right, motion carries. Great. We'll move on to the announcements. On March 16th, Tuesday at 5:30 p.m., there's a regular school board work, or there's, pardon me, let's start again. On March 16th, Tuesday at 5:30, there's a school board work session here in the community rooms and via electronic means. On March 23rd, Tuesday at 7 p.m., there's a regular school board meeting in the community room and via electronic means. March 29th to April 2nd, there is no school for spring break. And April 6th through 9th, there is also no school. April 13th, a Tuesday at 7 p.m., there will be a regular school board meeting again here in the community room and via electronic means. Moving on to correspondence, Superintendent Stenvick, do we have any correspondence tonight?
Madam Chair, there's no correspondence up today.
All right, thanks. We'll move on to communications to the board, and I do not see anyone here. All right, having said that, we'll go on to the consent agenda, which contains the personnel report, school board minutes, and the lane changes this time. Could I get a motion to move forward the consent agenda?
So moved.
Lorian, second?
Second.
I'll give Laura that one. Laura the second on that one. Any discussion? All right, Laura, if you wouldn't mind a roll call vote, please.
Mueller,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Grandlin,
Aye.
Samurai, aye. Severson,
Aye.
Palmer, aye.
All right, motion carries. Great. We will then move on to discussion items, reports, and information items, and we'll start with our reports from the members of the board. Tonight, we're going to begin with Hala, please.
All right, so since the last meeting, I've had a lot of communications with community members, parents, students, and staff.
All right, thank you, Hala. We'll move on to Molly.
I'm sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. My apologies for the delay. It was not intentional. Since last meeting, I've also just had a lot of conversations with community members and attended some activities at the high school and virtually. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Molly. Mary?
Well, since the last school board meeting, I also spoke with students, family, staff, community members, as well as Director Palmer. I attended the middle school informational session for the hybrid transition. I also met with Congresswoman Omar about federal standardized testing and met with Representative Feist about per pupil allegation, children's mental health services in our schools, and looking forward as well as what we're doing right now, pandemic-wise.
All right, great, thank you. We'll move on to Laura.
Yes, I really enjoyed our conversation, Mary. Thank you for your time.
Same.
I also attended the monthly Northeast Metro 916 board meeting, where we did agree to a final 5 for our superintendent search, and we did start out with 12. And they were all amazing candidates. So I feel very fortunate that we have a very good pool to pick from. We are going to be going into our first round of interviews on the 17th. That is a public meeting in public. It will be available on Zoom. So if anybody wanted to see what was going on, you certainly can do that. And then our final round of interviews, I believe, is on the March 24th. Other than that, it was a fairly short meeting, and that's the end of my that's it.
All right, thanks, Laura. Move on to Lorian.
All right. I also, like everybody else, had many conversations with some of our community members. I also attended the high school parent meeting and the chair meeting prior to this.
All right, thank you. I attended the chair meeting along with Superintendent Stenvik and Lorian. I also was able to attend a swim meet as a timer, so I volunteered, so I was able to actually physically attend, which was fun. No spectators yet, but volunteers for the purpose of running the sport. So that was exciting to be back in action a little bit. I attended along with Superintendent Stenvik, attended the AMSD, the Association of Metropolitan School Districts meeting on last Friday, where we were presented with data about how kids nationwide are performing on MAPS testing, showing where they're showing gains and holding ground and making losses. The data was not as widespread as we would have liked, but we did learn some takeaways there, so it was interesting. Also heard from some representatives there. And I had the honor of attending a Hilltop City Council meeting. So it was virtual. I got to meet the council and the mayor and a couple of folks who work in the office and hear what was going on in the city of Hilltop and what they're talking about, and just introduce myself and tell them we're eager to have a relationship with them, and they seem very receptive to that. So I was excited to be able to do that. And that concludes my report. So we'll move on.
Chair Severson, can I just make a note? I forgot, I had also attended the Columbia Heights Business Council meeting as well. So that was my first time attending that. And really, it was virtual as well. They're hoping to meet in person for the June meeting. But it was a good experience to meet with our community folks there as well.
Yeah, I have to say that the virtual meetings have made it fairly easy to attend.
Yeah.
So been excited about that. All right, we'll move on to Superintendent Stenvik's update.
Sure. Since the last board meeting, I've had several meetings on the rebranding of North Park School for Innovation, planning for a STEM-focused school, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and also the vertical articulation of STEM to Columbia Academy and Columbia Heights High School is well underway. Next month, we're looking forward to sharing a new North Park School for Innovation video and other materials with the board and the community. Very exciting. The COVID vaccine clinic team met to plan for the second dose clinic coming up on March 26th. We are very thankful for Anoka County for providing the opportunity for Columbia Heights Public Schools staff We're currently also working with Alina clinics for additional vaccine opportunities for staff. Currently, the local case rates continue to be in that 10 to 19 range, so same place we've been at for four weeks or so. So we're preparing to welcome grades 3 through 12 on campus for hybrid learning this Monday, March 15. We've had safety and logistics trainings and staff meetings. We've had support from the teaching and learning team for hybrid instruction, and also lots of preparations for classrooms. So really thinking back that it was right around this time, one whole year ago, that we quickly had to move into distance learning, and our lives really changed. This Thursday, I plan to attend the Valley View Extravaganza, and just a note that the location has changed due to the melting. Oh. So it will not be at McKenna Park, everybody. If those of you who are planning to attend, it will be at Valley View where there's blacktop. It won't be soggy. So that's going to be really fun and exciting. And then lastly, I was able to meet with Member Mueller and Member Lewis to hear about the various topics that were brought up at the last community engagement session. And that's very helpful to hear those topics so that we can follow up on specific items. So thank you for that.
All right, thanks so much. Believe it or not, that is the end of our discussion items for tonight, which is, Lori and I were talking before the meeting, and we both scrolled up and down several times, assuming we missed something, but we are going to move on to action items for tonight. And we'll start with the achievement and integration budget, and I would like to welcome Bondo Nyembwe, Executive Director of Educational Services.
Chair Severson, Superintendent Stanvick, and members of the board. 2 weeks ago, I presented the achievement integration budget as well as the articulation of the expenditures. And tonight, I am here seeking approval of the achievement integration budget for the fiscal year 2022. And its total amount is $1,081,476.18.
All right, we're looking for a motion to approve the achievement and integration budget for 2021, 2022.
So moved.
Was that Mary or
Granlund.
Lorian? Mary?
Granlund.
Okay. Second?
Second, Molly.
Second, Molly, thanks. Discussion or questions? Yep, go ahead.
A couple of comments. I appreciate Director Nimwe's presentation 2 weeks ago. In case anybody's watching today that didn't watch that 2 weeks ago, obviously this is an annual thing that's brought before the board. And Director Nimwe, clarify that the budget is pretty strict in terms of what can be spent and where and how those funds are allocated.
That is correct. The Department of Education has approved that 80% of the budget must be appropriated to direct student services. And this year, as well as in the past, we've apportioned almost 89% of the budget toward direct student services. And then there is a 20% that's supposed to go to professional development as well as admin costs.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. More questions? All right, roll call vote, please.
Mueller,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Grandlin,
Aye.
Samurai,
Aye.
Severson,
Aye.
Palmer, aye.
All right, motion carries. We'll move on to our next action item, and this one's me. The policy team meets on a monthly basis, except not this month. So we would make a motion here. At the February 23rd meeting, the school board was presented with the following policy for review. That's the COVID-19 face covering policy number 809. Approval, and the board approval will be sought at tonight's meeting. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the policy 809, the COVID-19 face covering policy.
So moved. Hala.
All, thanks.
Second, Lorian.
All right, great. Discussion.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
I should have brought this up, sent it in earlier, but I know that there's going to be some new guidelines versus people that are vaccinated. And I'm wondering if we're going to have to make any modifications to the policy. I mean, I think we should approve it the way that it sits right now,
Right.
but that might be a consideration.
As I recall, in our policy meeting, we actually talked about this. There's a caveat in here somewhere that discusses the ever-changing landscape of, is my memory right, Superintendent Stenvik?
Absolutely. I'm looking for the page.
It was highlighted in our copy, of course, when we were talking
Yeah.
about this.
Page 22 of the packet, page 6 of the.
Page 6 of 7 in the policy itself. Is it under implementation here?
The note at the top.
Oh, the note, okay, so we have a note under section 6, Roman numeral 6, note pursuant to future executive order in the state of Minnesota, the district will update policy 809 as soon as practicable and will comply with the executive order as written. In order to keep up with that. As of yet, the CDC is telling everyone to continue wearing face masks in public regardless of their vaccination status, but who knows how that will evolve. So is that kind of where you were at, Laura?
Oh, yeah, I just thought we needed some clarification
Right.
on that because the news, that's been fairly recent.
Yeah, and it's going to keep changing, I have a feeling, right? As
Yeah.
all of the COVID precautions have. So, great question. Any more questions? All right, roll call vote, please.
Mueller,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Granlund,
Aye.
Samurai,
Aye.
Severson,
Aye.
Palmer, aye.
Motion carries, great. I don't know why I was waiting for another name there. There's only 6 of us. All right, well, this has been an incredibly short meeting, but we'll move on to board topics. So, if you got something to talk about, now's the moment, I guess. Any board topics? All right, hearing none, we will adjourn this meeting at 7:18 PM.